Hello, my little lovebirds. TonyaTko here, and today we have a really big topic that you're definitely going to enjoy. This is an important topic for you. If you're a single woman or a single man, this video is a must watch, and the information in this video is going to change your life. The name of this video is How to Get a Man to Fall in Love with You in 7 Easy Steps. Plus, I reveal one fatal flaw that most women make. Once you hear the whole video out, once you hear this one fatal flaw, it's biological. And if you can resist the urge to do this one thing, it'll make all the difference in the world in your life. I guarantee it. Watch it and put your comments below. If this doesn't make a change in your life, I'll give you your money back on this free video. I'm just joking, but I'm not joking about this changing your life, but I'm joking about the money back on a free video. I'm giving this video away for free because I care about you. Number one, you know that, and I told most of you guys this, that my mother passed away when I was 19. So a lot of the things about loving myself, taking care of myself, growing up from, if you think about a 19-year-old to me now as a grown woman, there were a lot of things that I had to learn the hard way. And I want you, oh God, I want you to learn from my mistakes, because baby, oh, I made some mistakes. Listen to me. Hear me. Have you ever had a guy fall in love with you, but you only thought of him as just a friend, and it pained you that you could not love him back? So what you did was you decided that the next person that you decided to date or whatnot, that you would be extra good to them, and that you would put yourself out there because you couldn't love that last person. You decided to give your love to the next person that you dated, and then you ended up with your heart broken and not knowing why. Or you decided, or you felt that, oh, or you made the conclusion, oh, men like to engage in these relationships in which the person only wants to be their friend. So you decide to tell the next guy that you want to date that you only want to be friends, and then you end up being used sexually and dumped and heartbroken. So then you discover, you say, well, maybe guys don't like nice girls. So you decide to not be so nice. You decide to be a B, and you decide to not treat the next guy so great. And it only gets you so far before you chase him away and he leaves you. And then you're just left trying to figure out, how do you get the guy you want to behave like the guy that you did not want? So that's what I'm going to talk to you about in this video. And then this video, someone asked me on Facebook, why am I making this video for just women? Listen, the information, once I reveal this psychological secret to you guys, this video is also going to help men, because many of you may realize that a certain number of men get caught up in these relationships with women who don't really care about them. When I reveal this secret, you're going to be able to, as a man, you're going to be able to see some things in your life and understand women a little better, so that you can make some changes. And women, I'm going to show you step by step in these 7 easy steps. So let's get into the video. Let me first start by saying that this video is sponsored by my company. Right now I'm at tkoskin.com. This video is sponsored by my company. I specialize in helping women feel better naked. You know, I used to have stretch marks. My biggest selling product gets rid of stretch marks. The second biggest selling product makes you glow. Oh, let me do the white glove test before we get too far, because I do not have on foundation. You can take a look at my face up close. Flawless. Flawless. Take a look. I'm going to do the white glove test for you guys. And then we're going to get right into the video. White glove. Look at that. Clear. And I have some blush up here. So, you see? And then there's the blush. But yeah, for the most part, and you guys come to my website, tkoskin.com. I used to have spotted face, discoloration, etc., and now I am even toned and perfect. So come on over to tkoskin.com, check out my products. They're handmade, organic, all natural, and gourmet, meaning that they're made from products from items that are edible. So now that we have gone past that, listen, all the links will be below, so you come right over. If you have any questions, you can call me, etc. I'm here to help you, and that's why we're going to get into number one. Step number one, be in love with yourself first and foremost. I did some videos on 5 steps to love yourself, and you know what love looks like, what self-love looks like. The first thing that you're going to have to do is be the person that you want to be. Love yourself. Before you can expect anybody else to love you, you are going to have to love you. And I go step by step in that video on different things that you can do, how to do it, etc. How to fall in love with yourself and stay in love with yourself so that you can feel that you're somebody who's worth being loved. Number one, work on, well, 1A, work on your flaws. If you feel like, and I showed you, I showed you, because you know I have concealer on under my eyes because I don't like the dark circles or my lack of eyebrows. I feel like I'm bald faced. I showed you guys in that video. Just do a Google search or do a YouTube search for self-esteem or flaws, and you'll see the video in which I reveal some of the things that I'm self-conscious about. So work on those things. You know, find makeup tricks and techniques that work for you. Like I discovered, I put on my eyebrows. I wear my eyeliner on top of my lid, not underneath. It doesn't work for me underneath. Find a style like this right here. This is my style. Oh, bombshell style, baby. I'm a knockout, you know. This is my style right here. And it's the day before Labor Day, so my last chance to wear my white dress. But I look particularly good in form-fitting clothes that hugs my curves and shows a little bit of décolletage. I can't think of the right word for it. But you tell me, what's the French term for cleavage? Décolletage? Put that below. But anyway, so you know, find a clothing style, whether you're bohemian, whether you're, you know, a little more goth, or whether you're corporate, or whether you're a little anything. Find a style, experiment with different clothing. You and your girlfriend should have a clothes swap party where you guys swap clothing between one another, and you try like things that like your friends don't wear. You try that on, and you know, you make it into a new style for yourself. Try different things until you find a style that is right. Oh, let me show you what else. Oh, honey. Me? How about I don't fall? Me, I wear 5-inch heels. Not because they look good on other people, but because this is what I like and it looks good on me. Look around on YouTube for people who are doing their makeup tutorials and their videos. Find a hairstyle that works for you. I love this. I did a video the other day with the long weave on, or the long wig. That's not what I love. This is what I love, and I like the people who I attract with my short hair showing all of my beautiful facial features, etc. So that's A, B. C, get hobbies. And later on down the line, we're going to talk about how that comes into play with the secret that I'm going to reveal. Get some hobbies that you enjoy doing. If somebody asks you, how do you spend your free time, what will you say? Oh, nothing. Oh, I'm only working. What are some of the things that you like to do naturally? Find something that you can be passionate about, whether it's quilt making, whitewater rafting, wall climbing, kayaking. I personally love to kayak. I do. I like to, and you guys know I love to travel. So I do things that are a part of my personality. This is really going to help you when we get to number 7. The most important part of this video, when we get to that, having hobbies, doing photography, painting, dancing, whatever it is that comes naturally to you, that you like to do, that expresses, which is uniquely you, do that and hone in on that. It's going to come in handy. Know your self-worth. Know what you're worth before you put yourself out there. If you go to market, let's say you go to the flea market and you have something to sell. If I say, oh, this is my nature's erase, I go to the flea market and people are like, how much does it cost? And I'm like, you tell me. How much do you want to pay for this? How do you want to treat this? No, honey, You don't leave that up to other people to decide. You know your worth. You know what it is that you deserve. Just imagine. Look, I can't go into full detail in this video, or this video will be an hour long. But just imagine how it is that you want to be treated. Know how it is that you deserve to be treated. And honey, oh, don't expect anything less. You hear me? Nothing less than the idea that you created for yourself. Because if not that person, another person will treat you how you deserve to be treated. But first, you have to set the standard within you. I did a video yesterday or the day before yesterday called Does Size Matter? And I was all pumped up in that video. My cleavage was like airbags under my chin. I was talking about male penis size. And because I had my cleavage pumped up, people decided to tell me that I was a slut or a hoe or all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, honey, you ain't going to talk to me like that. And I started blocking people and being like, oh, you need to learn how to take criticism. No, baby. I just, listen, this is my life. This is my body. I do what it is that I choose to do with my body. And I know how I deserve to be spoken to with or without my cleavage. Honey, you're going to respect me. On Facebook, on YouTube, or off, honey, when I walk down the street, you respect me and nothing less. Get blocked over here. You don't decide how I get treated. I do. And you decide how you get treated. Know your worth. I did a video called Know Your Worth. Look it up. Next point is be a captain. Save yourself. Hear what I'm saying. Save yourself, honey. Don't wait for no man to come around and save you from your life. Save yourself. Make your life how you want your life to be so that nobody has to come in there and rescue you. If you feel like you're not educated enough, go get your education, baby. If you feel like you're not making enough money, honey, do something to make some more money. Whether it's going back to school, taking a course, go getting your EMT license, learning how to be a nurse's aide, learning how to fix refrigerators and air conditioners, whatever it is. Whatever it is, make your money, baby. Do what you got to do to take care of yourself, because the last thing you want is to attract the type of man who's coming in there trying to fix a broken bird with her wing, then feeling like he owns those wings, baby. Fix your own wings first. That way when you go to market, you know how much what it is that you're putting out there is worth, honey, and you know what to demand in exchange for that. Listen to me. Because you know what? People ask, oh, we're going to get into it. What is it? Oh. In the next point, we're going to get into into this point. I'm going to further delve on that, on number 2. But what I'm saying is save yourself. Don't be wallowing in the misery of a life that you don't want to be in, hoping that some man is going to swoop down on his magical horse like they did in the fairy tales and rescue you from a life that you don't want to be in. Honey, if you don't want to be in that life, what makes you think somebody else wants to be in it? The last thing you want to do is drag some child into it with a man who has abandoned you. So listen, you better know your worth, honey. You better, listen, take care of yourself first and foremost. Because if you can't do it, if you don't think you're worth taking care of, listen, I buy myself flowers when I feel like it. I should pull them down off the wall, but I don't want to go into a segue. But I buy myself flowers. This is listen, honey, cultured pearls. For real, not costume jewelry. These were picked from the ocean, baby, because I deserve it. Oh, honey, yes. Honey, I invest in myself, but you should see what I eat. The people who came to my loft for my loft party, I talked to you about it. Organic, honey. I'm drinking 64 ounces of water a day. I take care of myself. You take care of you too. Last point on number 1 is be happy with yourself. And that goes into all of the stuff that we talked about above that. Oh, I can't wait to mention this one. Number 2. Find the right man for you. Honey. I get contacted by so many women who write to me trying to bend. Oh, I want to cry just thinking about this. Trying to bend themselves into being the woman that he wants her to be. No, baby, you find a man who is right for you. Somebody who is a natural fit for who you really are. Hear what I'm saying. Don't pretend to be somebody else and have somebody fall in love with the person that you are pretending to be. Because what's the end goal in that? What's the end goal? Listen, marriage is not the end goal, baby. It's a milestone. It goes on from there. And if you get yourself trapped up with a man who is not a good fit for you, honey, that's a life sentence that you've sentenced yourself to. Because then when you start coming out with who it is that you really are, you're matched up with a man who may not even like the real you. That's why you start out being the real you first and foremost. You come out the gate you, and you find a man who is right for you. So when I talk about don't expect somebody to save you from your life doing you any favors, no, honey. Listen, people talk to me and they ask me why I'm not married, honey. They act like, and so many women out there have this same mentality too, that getting married is the greatest gift that any man can bestow upon a woman. No, honey, we're the ones who choose. Listen, we're the ones who choose. Women choose. Oh, let me calm down. Let's rewind. Find a man who is a right fit for you. I could have been married already, but he would have been happy, but I would have been miserable. I could have been married 3 times already, but I'm finding a man who is a good fit for me. Like how some people are like, oh, this, that, and the other, look at you, and your little bit of cleavage. Listen, I'm not interested in a man who has a problem with a little bit of cleavage. If you knew what I liked, oh honey, if you knew what I like behind closed doors, this is just the beginning, baby. Huh? Let me pick up my mouse pad that I dropped when I got too excited. All right. If you knew what I like, listen, I'm holding out. Listen, when you find a man who truly appreciates you and loves you for who you are, and you don't have to pretend, oh honey, that is a beautiful thing. But I'm going to tell you in this video how to avoid a mistake and mistakes that I made with the men that I wanted. I made this mistake, and I'm going to help you avoid that in this video so that you can get the man that you want. And if what I'm saying in this video makes sense to you, take it in. Anything in this video that I'm saying that doesn't make sense, push it out. But hear me first and foremost. Listen. Number 3, timing. You have to make sure that the timing is right. You may be a good match for that man, and that man may be a good match for you, but the difference between men and women is that for a man, timing is everything. I interview a lot of married men, and ladies, you would be disconcertingly surprised at what it is that makes a man decide to marry the woman that he marries. It would dishearten you to find out. You know what's the number one thing that I hear that men say when they decided to get married? Simply, they were just ready. They were just ready. And the woman who came along and was there when they were ready was the one that they married. Simple as that. You know, people say that men are very simple. There are some things that are about men that are very simple. That is one of them. I did a video, 5 easiest ways to catch a husband. Make sure you look up that video, because I talk about the time in a man's life where he is primed for the picking, honey. Because he could be the right man, great personality and everything, but if he doesn't have those things in place, like a steady job, knowing where his life is going, the ability to take care of you if need be. I go into it step by step in that video. So make sure you check out that video. No reason to reiterate it in this video because I went into it in that video. So check that out. So timing. You got to let that check. Timing is everything when it comes to a man. And we're going to talk about how to make sure that it's the time. Wait till we get to number 7. That's number 3. Number 4. Let's talk about sex, baby. Oh, honey, delay that sex. Remember a few moments ago I said men are very simple when it comes to certain things, right? When it comes to certain things, men are very simple. There's one thing that men do that they don't know that they do, and even if they protest it in the comments, don't listen, because they don't even know that they do it themselves. But when you hear what I'm going to say, you're going to be, a light bulb is going to go off. Aha. Aha. Wait till I get to number 7. But listen, delay that sex. Oh, honey, he may act like he wanted. He may push for it, and you may say, Why would he push for sex if he doesn't really want it, or if he's going to judge me by it, or blah, blah, blah? Listen, honey, it's biological. That man wants sex so that he can relieve himself. It doesn't have to come from you. Oh, honey, he wants it from you. Your new pum pum. New pum pum is one of the most alluring. Oh, my gosh. If it was blood to a vampire or a moth to light, Lord, new pum pum just draw. Oh gosh, like they can't resist it. Like you see the zombies moving in the movie. Like, oh, I gotta have it. That's how they get. They go crazy in their mind for new pum pum. Nothing can be wrong with the pum pum they have or had. They just want that new one. It doesn't. Listen. Delay sex. I've gone over to a tangent. Listen. Delay sex if you know what's good for you. I'll tell you just some research on it, according to evolutionary biologists, right? Number one, men are programmed with certain things inside their DNA. One of the things that's programmed in their DNA is to make sure that the woman that they're with is the offspring that she produces is the mother of their child. Lord, that the offspring is theirs. So psychologically, just built in their DNA, a loose woman is a woman that can't be trusted. He wants to make sure that whatever it is that's in there is just for him, and that he doesn't have to worry about whether or not those children are his. So how can a man be sure, if you do it to him on the first night, how can he be sure that that's not just your MO, how you get down? The only way for him to be sure is for you to show and prove. I've talked to men, Lord, and they're so out of it. This one guy was like, oh, my wife, I knew she was the one. She waited 1.5 years before before we had sex. And I said to him, listen, you think she wasn't having sex with anybody else? That's another story, honey. Take from that example what you want. But delay that sex. Make him know that you don't give that to just anybody. For some reason, a man's desired investment in a woman decreases with the amount of time that it takes for him to get her in the sack. Hear that. If you don't hear nothing else, hear that. So if you have had sex with a man too soon, honey, it's going to be very difficult to turn that relationship around. If you're in a situation like that and that man is not respecting you, cut your losses now. Go watch my video on 10 signs that you may be a booty call or jump off or Bussitbaby. That's the title of the video. Search for that. And whenever you search for my video, always put the name TonyaTko in the search so that way you can narrow it down. And that's Tonya, that's right, with an O, TonyaTko. And search for the titles that I mentioned in this video. Number 5, and we're getting up to the good part. Number 5. Remember when I talked about, oh, what did you do wrong when you decided to be a B or be mean or no more Mrs. Nice Girl, and you were going to be angry and you were going to maybe act psychotic or whatever because you found out that his ex was psycho and you're like, oh, he must like psycho broads, or, oh, they like bitchy women, so you decided to be super mean. Number 1, only a person who has low self-esteem appreciates a person who is awful to them. You don't want to get caught up with a man who has low self-esteem, okay? Number 5 is be his friend. Ladies, be good to him. Be his friend and be good to him. Be a good person. Treat him nice. Be attracted to him. Do him right. And let me tell you, if you are good to that man, he'll come back. Honey, men are, like I said, they're simple. They travel the path of least resistance. Be good to him. Be someone that he can talk to, that he can come to, that he can open up to. Somebody that he has a vibe with and that he can commune with. Somebody that is cool people. Somebody he enjoys spending time with. Be that person. But remember, like I said, be true to yourself. Don't, you know, be somebody that you're not to be good to him, sacrificing yourself like, oh, he likes this and I hate it. It makes my skin crawl, but I'm still, no. Find somebody who you enjoy being with, who you enjoy vibing with, somebody who's your friend too. You know, if you get in the right situation, that man will be your best friend, honey. There's nothing like having your lover be your best friend, having to wake up to the person who you enjoy the most, that you guys have the same hobbies, that you run out and play paintball together or whatever it is that you like. There's no goodness. What's better than that? So be his friend. Be natural. Be good to him. Be attracted to him. You know, tell him he's attractive. No harm in that. Let him know that he's desired. And then we get into point number 6, and we're getting up to the good one. Number 6, want him in your life. Don't need him in your life. Want him. And this is where hobbies come into play, where you have other things going on for you, that you can do other things. Want him in your life. And as the relationship progresses and you do need him, but don't be needy. Men like to feel needed, but they don't like the woman who's needy. And if you don't know the difference between those two, I'll tell you briefly. A needy person is a clingy person who needs this person for their survival. This person can't do anything. They can't get away from them, blah, blah, blah. Need him, but don't be needy. Don't be clingy. Don't be desperate for him to save you from an existence that you don't want to be in. And then we get up to the best part of the video, number 7. And this, oh honey, I had to learn the hard way. So learn from my mistakes. Space. The most important part of this video. Space. I'm making this video for number 7 because right now out there's a woman who's in a relationship with a man that she's clinging on to. But what she doesn't understand is that that man just needs a little bit of space. Men and women are not the same. Women and men are very different biologically, endocrinologically, in the endocrine system, hormonally. The way our mind works are different. Emotionally, we're different. A woman, let me get my board out. Haven't brought the board out in a while. Let me bring it now. Excuse me. Just a moment. Let me get my marker too. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to I want you to pay attention, look and learn. This is a very important part of this video, and this part is going to change your life right now. All right. Women, first of all, girls, you know that we are, you know, when we get a girlfriend, a sister girl, oh, we love them. We are joined at the hip. We even go to the bathroom with one another. Sleepovers, we could sleep in the same bed. We could talk on the phone for hours. We can do all of this with our sister girls, and it doesn't bother us for years. That closeness is actually a good thing. This is how women progress in relationships. First, we meet our sister girl. Then, you know, we kind of have a period of feeling them out. Then we grow in the relationship. The relationship grows stronger and stronger and more steady, and we are joined. And it goes in this straight plateau unless that girl just does something wrong and the relationship falls off. And then you get back to the relationship. And you don't start out back there, but you start out. Do you ever had a girlfriend, things messed up, you came back to her and it was not the same, so you kind of started back down here? And you tried to bring things back up, but it just didn't work, and then you fall back down. Or you bring things back up, and things, whatever it was that messed you guys up, you keep growing and growing, and then you go off with one another. Okay, and you stay together. Closeness is a wonderful, amazing thing for women, and we love it, and we can't get enough of it. Men, on the other hand, and I've made more than 400 videos. And if you want to see more of my videos, like I said, I'm your love guru, TonyaTko. Subscribe to my videos here on YouTube. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, etc. I talk a lot to the people on Facebook. I'm going to describe for you ladies right now how a man falls in love. Remember the diagram with the woman. It goes straight up, and you guys stayed together on a steady plane. Together forever. No wavering, no faltering. If nothing happens, you guys will stay tight as what is it, thick as thieves? Oh, goodness, yes. Yes. As tight as a belt loop on a man at a pie eating contest. Tight. That's how women like to stay. But listen, this is how a man falls in love, and I had to learn this the hard way. And ladies, I want you to pay attention. Men, I want you to pay attention to this too, so that you can learn something about yourself. Boy meets girl. You guys first meet, and the guy is very attracted to you. The guy starts chasing you, heavy, boom, right on, but just right out the gate, boom, he wants you. So you're like, okay, I'm gonna give him a chance. You say yes after that man has won you over, right? Things will continue to go on the incline. You guys will be so happy together, right? Guess what? For no reason at all, according to you, things will be going great. For no reason at all, it'll go like this. Why? Men and women are very different. A woman feels most comfortable when most comfortable in a relationship when she is connected and tied to that person. A man feels most comfortable when he is able to have his independence. This is what he needs. He needs that time back to himself. He needs to have his independence. He needs to have the ability to be able to do his own thing, to miss you, to be able to, I don't know, go see other women if he needs to feel like a man, to be independent, to have that not anonymity. What's the word? Oh, it's very close to anonymity. Autonomy. To have that autonomy, to be able to be his own man. The last thing, oh ladies, listen. The last thing that man wants is to become too quickly dependent on you. What you do at this stage is very important. When that man starts to dip down from the relationship. So boy meets girl, you guys are right here. When that man starts to dip down, this is the mistake that the average woman makes. Where's my red pen? Because I want to show this mistake. Hold on 1 second. Ah! You shouldn't have fell, board. Why did you do that to me? Oh, goodness. Don't sweat the technique. Okay. So what I'm saying is, at this point is when things start to get very, very crucial. And I want to show you the great mistake that you don't want to make at this stage right here, ladies. Believe me. Let me put my X back here. This is the mistake that most women make. When that man starts to pull away, guess what you do? You're like, oh my goodness, what's the matter? Is it somebody else? Does he not interested in me anymore? Did things go wrong? Did I do something wrong? He's going to start to pull back. And you're going to go after him. You're going to go after him down this decline. And you're going to be like, what's the matter, honey? Oh, he stopped calling you as much. So you start calling him. You start picking up the slack, because what you want to do is you want to pick him up from here. And you want to bring him back up there. But what ends up happening is you go after him and you push him further and further and further down until he doesn't want to come back up there. What he wants to do is he really just wants to be by himself. He wants to be alone at this point. So ladies, this is what you have to do. You have to avoid the temptation of following him down into that. How will you know? How will you know when he needs space? This is a very important question, and I'm glad you asked. How will you know? You'll know he needs space because he'll stop calling as much. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with the relationship. He'll stop calling as much. He'll stop coming around. He will even disappear. He may even disappear. I promise you. And somebody's going through that right now. That's why I'm making this video. He'll disappear. And you'll be like, what's the matter? Oh my gosh, I got to get him back. Everything was so... You feel jolted. You feel uneasy. You feel jarred. Because you want to get him back to that lovey-doveyness. And if you follow him down there, lady, that's going to be a perilous mistake to the relationship. I'm going to show you what you should do instead. This is what you should do instead. And this is where hobbies come into play. Because you are going to have to do you at this point. You're going to have to go off and take care of whatever it is that what you like to do. You're going to participate in whatever sports or hobbies or painting or whatever you like to do. Date other people, because listen, do not Don't get yourself caught in no trap. Do not give a person boyfriend privileges if they don't want to be your boyfriend. If they just want to be friends, then that's it. Friend privileges only. And if they toss you back out into the sea, that means they don't care if you sleep with other people. So go do you. Go out. Every man is going to stay in this area a different amount of time. What you do is you go do you. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If you were good to that man and he was attracted to you, that's another... I forgot to mention in the earlier part, finding the right man. You have to find a man who's attracted to you. It's so much more difficult. Women, we can fall for a person who we were never really attracted to in the first place because our criteria for what we look for in a life mate is a little bit different. But a man has to be attracted to you. So, and you'll know in this stage whether he's attracted to you when it goes like that. And even so, there are things that you can do to make yourself more desirable, like not chasing him down, because you diminish your worth when you chase him back down into his cave. So listen, what you need to do is you go and you do you. You live your life. And this is what's going to happen. If you were good to that man and you guys were friends and he enjoyed being with you, he's going to come back. He will be back. How many of you ladies ever left a man and he came back? So this is what's going to happen. He's going to come back. You're going to be a little bit skeptical and be like, why did you leave in the first place? Right? If you don't care, honey, if you act like you didn't even notice he was gone because your life was so amazing without him anyway, it'll bring him further back and back. This time you guys will go further up. You see that? You guys will go further up and you'll be here. And what will happen is this man will start to fall for you. And he'll be like, he'll get scared. Because the last thing he wants to do is be dependent on a woman. Men think that we are very soft. They don't think of us on the same plane as men. They don't. And the last thing that a man wants to do is to be emotionally dependent on a woman. And guess what's going to happen? Woo! Right off the face of the earth again. And what do you do at this point? Just like I said before, you go on and you do you. You live your life. Like you don't even notice that he's gone. Don't chase him. I give this example in my live seminars. Think of yourself as a flower, honey. You don't see flowers hopping after the bees. No, you have that nectar, baby. Oh, he'll be back. He'll drop off the face. And you know what'll happen? He'll be like, oh my goodness, life was so much better when I had my flower and all this other stuff, and he'll realize how much he miss you, and he'll come back. You have to this is when you need to give him his space, honey. He'll be back. He'll be back, and this time, there's no turning back from that point. This is when you got him, right here. When you've got him, right here is where you want him. And that right there, ladies, is how to make a man fall in love. Once he realizes on his own that he can't do without you, put my board away. Once he realizes that that you can do without him, he will be being with you will not be it won't be obligatory. He won't feel like he's being forced to be with you. This is a decision that he has to come to on his own. You know, there are so many different reasons that he makes up in his mind for why he needs space. A lot of men don't realize that they do this, but all of the married men, all of them that I interviewed, when I asked them, I said, what was it that made you decide to choose your wife? Well, I can't say all because some just kind of got trapped into the marriage, but the men who chose their wives, they chose the women who were able to do without them. One man even said to me, he said, when I was with her, I was with her, and when I was not, I was not. And when I realized that she could live her life without me, that's when I didn't want to live my life without her. Another man said that, basically, he said, I want to try to figure out how to quote him, but the video's getting on in time. Let me figure. He basically said something along the lines of, he found a woman who he felt that if he left her, that she would be all right. That he had always been turned off by women in the past because he felt like if he had left them, that their lives would crumble or fall, and that was just too much pressure for him to be that responsible for another person's life. So men, I want you to understand the nature of women, and I want you to understand a bit of the nature of yourself as well. If you find yourself in a situation with a woman who wants to be with you, that's a blessing. When you find, and this is how men get caught up in relationships with women who don't really care about them. Because, and you know what, in women, we have all had men fall for us, and we didn't understand what the formula was. The formula was that you didn't care. You didn't notice when they were gone because you were too busy doing your own thing. They left all right. They went to go, you didn't hear from them for months or however long, and you didn't care. It was no big deal to you because you guys were just friends, or you weren't really attracted to them or whatnot. Those are the women that the men fall in love with. Hear what I'm saying. Those are the women that the men fall in love with when they need their space, when they need that separation to fortify themselves in that feeling, that overwhelming feeling that they can feel. Those are the women that they fall in love with. It's unfortunate that that's against female nature. Giving him that break, giving him that space is against female nature. So I'm going to beg you. Look at my face. I'm begging you. I'm begging you to resist the temptation to follow him down into the abyss when he needs his autonomy. I'm begging you. Do something else. I know you want him and I know you want to bring him back, but that's not going to bring him back. That's going to push him further away. Do you. Do something else, and I promise you, if it doesn't work, I'll let you come and punch me in my arm. I promise you he'll be back. And if he's not back, then he was not the one for you. Some people take a lot more time to come back than others. Listen, you live your life. You never know. The next person might be the one to give you what it is that you need. You're going to have to break. And it's going to feel uncomfortable and it's going to feel unnatural, but you're going to have to give him that break. You're going to have to, and men, those who are self-aware, please comment and tell the women what it is that I'm saying that's true. Honey, don't make the same mistakes that I made. Give him that space. Give him that break. Whew. That was tough, right? Tough love. Listen, let's hug. I want you to come over, subscribe to my videos here. I'm going to be putting up a lot more videos now that I've decided not to care about the naysayers. You know, people like, oh, you're not married. Why should I listen to you? I know a lot, honey. I've been through the gamut. I don't want you to make my mistakes. So subscribe to my videos here. Come find me on Facebook. Facebook.com/TonyaTko show. Twitter.com/TonyaTko. Instagram, that's @TonyaTko. I'm all over the web, even my website. You'll see it right here, TonyaTko.com. Stay up with me, write to me, communicate with me. If you have questions, send them to me. Like I said, I'm going to be making a lot more videos. And leave your comments below. And remember, that's Tonya, yes, with an O, TONYATKO. Your knockout, honey. Hug me. Hug me. Oh, I love you guys. I love you guys. Now make sure that you love one another, but most importantly, love yourself. And I hope I did this topic justice. Put your comments below if I knocked it out the box. If you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And I love you guys. Peace.